Hello. So, how did week 60 go? This will be my update on my first week back on 10 milligrams of Zepbound after a 4 week hiatus and reduction because prior to the hiatus, I was on 15 milligrams. So, did reducing my dose and taking a break help to jumpstart my weight loss? Stay tuned to find out.
In our appearance driven social system, toxic productivity and diet culture are considered especially heinous. In Denver, Colorado, a dedicated goal getter seeking to crush these vicious lies is the founder of an elite squad known as Heal Thy Spirit. These are her stories.
Hello. If it's your first time here, my name is Tia. I am a 46-year-old woman in Denver, Colorado. I have been taking Zepbound for just over a year now. This is my week 60 update. I did not take out the 4 week hiatus. So if you didn't watch that video, you can go back and watch it and hear a little bit more in prior episodes about my situation. But this update is going to hopefully be quick because I did take notes and I'm going to try to run through the notes super smooth. I did take my first shot since the hiatus on June 1st. Today is Sunday, June 8th. So these are the results from that week. Now, with regard to I'll just go ahead and actually, I'm going to insert some clips throughout the week that I played here.
Well, going forward, I am going to try to get a weekly update video up on Monday morning, which will have my results since I take my shot and weigh in on Sunday. That'll give me some time to put it together, but I'm going to try to piece each little snippet of, record when I have a chance and kind of give you updates. So today is Friday, June 6th, and I am, I guess, 5 days since my last shot. Yeah. So, or since my first shot of 10 milligrams. And so far so good. I still have the rest of today. It's about 11. It's my lunchtime. And I've had a pretty good week thus far. The 10 does feel different this go round. Obviously, my plan is that the lower dose will help me since I was able to get it completely out of my system the entire time that in the 30 days or 31 days that I took off. So I did actually speak to my doctor as well. She called me earlier this week just to check in because she had been on maternity leave and I explained everything and she was on board. I talked with my dietitian. I had an appointment with her on Monday. So that so far seems to have gone well. And she is not concerned, as neither am I. Like I said, today is Friday, and last night before I went to bed was the first night in a while that my ankles were not completely swollen from I guess water weight or whatever, because it is frightful to gain 12 pounds if you care or are triggered by the number on the scale, which I'm not. So no freaking out there. But as of this morning, I am down like 4.2 pounds since Sunday, and it's only Friday. So that's how I know the weight gain last month was not, actual weight gain, and that obviously this loss is not actual weight loss. So we're headed in the correct direction. I do feel good. I have been a little more tired this week, but it's also been a little more busy at work, so it's a lot of mental stress. um I did make the decision that I am going to leave Target because that just one day, even if it's one day every other week or one day every other month or whatever it is, it's too much. So I am not going to quit school. So I'm going to work out the finances and pay for my last few classes so that I can continue on, because I'm almost done, the closest I've ever been to being finished. And so yeah, I'm excited about all of that. So yeah, that is the Friday update. And you'll have another snippet here with, my results from Sunday. And hopefully you're watching this on Monday morning. All right, take care.
On the screen here, a new comparison, but I did weigh on both scales. They're both Renpho scales, but I got a new Renpho Morpho scan, and I'm not going to go into detail in this video. I'll do a separate video for that for my last DEXA and compare the new Renpho scale, the old Renpho scale, and the most recent DEXA, even though I think that DEXA is kind of wacky because of my water. I think the muscle was skewed by my water weight. So at any rate, the stats, when I look at my comparison from June 1st to today, June 8th, I started at 197 pounds, and today I weighed in at 193.4 pounds. So that is a reduction of 4 pounds. I guess maybe it was 197.4. I'm not sure, but it says I lost 4 pounds this week. And my body fat percentage decreased by 0.6, and my BMI decreased by, I'm sorry, let me say that again. My weight loss is 4 pounds. My body fat percentage reduction is 0.3%, and my BMI dropped by 0.6. So when I view the report for today, and I'm looking at it on my phone, but I can put it up here as well. Actually, I'm going to look at it up here because I can't see that. So yeah, so I was 197.4 on June 1st, and I'm 193.4 today. My body fat mass was 75 pounds, and it is now currently 73 pounds. So that means a loss of 2 pounds loss of fat. My body water was 89.7, and it's currently 88.2. So that's a clear indication that there was some water loss. And then my muscle mass, it says was 114.2 last week, and today was 112.5. So that means it says, according to the scale, which is not the gold standard, that I lost 1.7 pounds of muscle, which again, I think that's probably water. In conjunction with the other 1 pound of water, because it would make sense that I lost, if I lost 4 pounds, that it was water weight. So that's another topic for another day. So those are the results. That's probably what you came for, but I'm going to quickly talk about my eating. My average calories per day last week, June 1st to June 7th, was 1950 per day. I did start monitoring my net calories just so that for comparison purposes, the goal is always not to eat the extra calories. But as I look to learn how my body works and what works and figure out what my maintenance goal is going to be for eating, I just kind of want to look at it for purposes. Now, I was not successful in staying at the 1550 that I was shooting for. But we'll get there. It's progress. It's much better than the 2,600 calories that I averaged last week. Then for my macro breakdown, I averaged 151 grams of protein, with a goal of 155. So I was a little short on my protein. My carbs, I consumed 156 grams of carbs on average, which is well above my 97-gram daily goal. Fiber was 34 grams. I don't have a goal for that. Sugar, 52 grams, also no goal for that. My fat, 78 grams with a goal of 60. And these goals, like the numbers is based on that 1550, be getting between 1500 and 1600 calories a day. So I was 18 grams over on fat. My water consumption has been great, actually, the entire month of May and this first week of June. I consumed about 563 ounces of water, which is about 80 ounces a day. So that's excellent for me because I used to be in struggling to get 64, and I did not make it a goal to shoot for a higher amount of water. But it just naturally kind of fell into place. The more I drank, the more active I am, the more conscious I am about it, the better it has been. So that's the information there. When I break it down to my macro math that, some of you might love and some of you might hate, I basically consumed 604 calories of my protein, 624 calories were carbs, and 702 calories were fat. And that is that total 1950. So with protein, my goal is to have 40% of my calories come from protein. And I was just at 31%. And then for carbs, also 40% of my calories to come from carbs. And I was around 32%. And then fat is, my goal is 20%, but that was at 36 with 702 calories on average. So, I'm not too far off. It's still pretty balanced at 31, 32, 36. But I'm going to focus on increasing that protein increasing the overall calories, which I think when I reduce fat and carbs, that's going to help reduce the overall calories. So we'll see in week 2 how that goes, or week 61 on this fat loss adventure. With regards to my exercise, on Sunday, I did my full body strength with Trainwell. That was 58 minutes. I took a rest day on Monday and Tuesday. Imagine that. And then Wednesday, I did upper body strength on my Trainwell app. That was 1 hour. Thursday, I did lower body strength, which is legs and abs, and that was 58 minutes. And then on Friday, I did cardio kickboxing with the Fit Squad for 51 minutes because I was 10 minutes late. And then Saturday, Fit Squad did a 30-minute kettlebell strength. I put HIIT strength, but I used a 20-pound kettlebell for the workout. And that lasted about 40 minutes according to my watch and the Oura Ring. So that was 5 workouts over 5 days with 2 rest days, which is pretty standard for me. And that's usually the minimum, the bare minimum. My non-scale victories for the week. So the swelling has gone down. So that was great. I actually thought I lost my Oura Ring. It's fairly loose now. But I had left, I guess it fell off my hand in the bathroom and I didn't realize it. But I mean, it still fits, so it's still fine. But when I'm more inflamed or more swollen or whatever, it fits a lot snugger than and it'll change all throughout the day, you'll notice. But right now it's fitting perfect, but that's not always the case. Another non-scale victory, I hit my stand goal, which is just to stand 12 every hour for at least 12 hours a day is what it's set currently. I plan to increase that. I made it a June goal to hit my stand goal at a minimum every single day this month. And if I do, then I will bump that up in July to be either 13 or 14 days, but we'll see or 13 or 14 hours, sorry. So that was that. As far as closing my rings, I did close my rings on only 2 days last week, but that was Sunday and Wednesday. Obviously, Tuesday and Thursday, I had a rest day, so that reduces my activity hours, and also I can't hit my workout goal because I have that set at 45 minutes a day. But I'm gonna, whenever I get to the point where the goal is to close my rings every single day, I'll just use an active recovery day like walking or something like that to make up for those days that I'm not doing strenuous exercise. But I did just want to mention, for my own notice, that I've been going to bed because I've been tired, obviously. I did donate plasma this week, and this is the first week back on the shot. So I wanted to prioritize my rest, and I didn't pay attention. Thursday, I missed my active calorie goal by 24 calories. So if I would have just, literally just walked around for like 10 or 15 minutes, then I would have closed that ring and closed my rings for the day. That's the one that I struggle with, the activity goal. And that we had talked about, we were on someone's live earlier this week talking about NEAT, and people weren't understanding what that is, but that is just like, you actually only burn from exercise about 10% of all the calories you burn in an entire day. So like if you burn 2,500 calories, typically only 250 calories of that 2,500 that you burn in the day comes from your actual conscious exercise. So where you get your extra activity points or calories burned is just by doing everyday things, getting up every hour, parking your car far away from the store before you walk in, just fidgeting in your seat, like moving, tapping your foot or whatever when you're sitting down. Those types of little things, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, those are the things that are going to contribute to your NEAT and like build up those extra calories burned throughout the day. And a lot of people don't realize that. They're just like, oh, I got to exercise. And you do, it's good. It's, not that you got to do it, but it's going to help, especially if you're doing strength training. It is going to build muscle. Muscle is going to help you burn more calories at rest. So after the exercise is over, if you're doing strength training, and I saw like a meme recently that said, it was something about, see if I can get it right and not mess it up, but it was saying something like cardio is like rent. You only benefit from it during the, while you're doing it. And then strength training, is like, an invest. I'll have to find it. I'll find it and I'll put it up here before I post this video, but because I'm just messing it up, because I'm going to always mess it up. But the long story short, or the point of the matter is that when you're doing cardio, you will burn a lot more calories, but as soon as you stop doing the cardio, the calorie burn stops as well. With strength training, you're burning or, hit high intensity interval training, where you're going up and then coming back down, your heart rate is going up and then you're coming back down. So it's like 45 seconds of work and then 20 seconds of rest, or 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Like when you're constantly doing that back and forth, once you stop the workout, then your body continues to burn calories at a higher rate than if you didn't do any exercise at all. And so that's kind of, where I was getting with that. All right. So my goals I didn't even finish talking. So Thursday, I missed closing my activity goal by 24 calories. On Friday, I missed it by 6. And I went to bed at like 8 o'clock on Friday. I literally could have just went to the bathroom two more times. If I was awake another hour, I just would have burned the 6 calories, but it's whatever. And then yesterday, I missed it by like 130 calories. But again, end of the week, I only did a 30-minute workout, and it was a movie day. So there was, Saturday is kind of like my Sabbath, my chill day. I don't really do anything exerted. So that's fine. So what is next? Oh, I did want to mention sleep. I did average 6 hours, 25 minutes of sleep per night. That's pretty consistent. 6.5 hours is about where I go. for based on the fact that I wake up at 4:30 every morning. Usually I'll sleep until like 5 or 6 on Saturday and or Sunday. Yesterday, I oddly got up at 3. So even with me waking up at 3 o'clock yesterday morning and I stayed up until about 10:30, my weekly average was still 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So I'm covered there. Prioritizing sleep is important, as I found. I used to be a sleep disrespecter. So I have learned for the last several years, I made a conscious decision that I was going to prioritize that over anything else. And so far, I've been pretty successful with that. So my goals for the week coming up is going to be to continue to close my stand ring or my stand ring, 12 hours a day stand every single day for 7 days. I would like to close all rings 5 times next week. Watch my carbs. So I'm going to be more conscious about the carbs that I'm consuming and the fat that I'm consuming to try to lower that and replace that with protein to see if I can get closer to that 1,500 to 1,600 calorie range. That'd be a reduction of about 350 calories over, below what I averaged last week. And looking at what I specifically ate to determine where those extra calories came from. And then as far as a YouTube, I do want to thank everyone for who's been watching my videos and new subscribers. I'm going to put my community subscribers here for the week, the community spotlight that YouTube picks for like the most comments and, whatever. And I don't think it's a consistent, like for that particular week. I think there's a lag. I don't really know how it works. I don't think any of the creators know how it works. I just know that they get picked and I'm going to start showcasing them in my weekly update videos. So these are the ones for last week and you'll see them above my head in this video. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone. And then I did want to say also with one of my goals being the trying really hard not to eat my exercise calories. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself and I'm going to give myself grace. But I want to stress the fact that it's just about understanding my relationship with food. And, you'll hear people say, oh, I had that piece of chocolate cake, so now I got to go work out for 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't want to live that way. It's true that if you do eat extra and you do some extra exercise, then that's going to reduce the calories that stick with you versus, burning out. Because truly, no matter what anybody says, weight loss, fat loss, it is calories in, calories out. So that is accurate information, but how you take that and, with regard to diet culture, diet is dead. I will say it every video. I don't restrict myself. The whole goal here is to understand how your body works, understand what your relationship is with food is. Food is not the enemy. Food is not good or bad. It's neutral. It's just a thing. And your experience with it is what's going to make it good or bad. So I'll leave that at that. And that's all I have for you today. Probably shortest video on record beyond that 10K recap that I did earlier this week. So please don't forget to heal thy spirit for a healthy spirit. May grace and peace be yours in abundance. Take care.